All right, I'm here with actor Ian Quinlan, who just wrapped up a stint on Gotham. That's Carl Pinkney. But before we get into that, why don't you talk a little bit about when you first decided you wanted to be an actor?
Sure, yeah. So, I'm a native New Yorker, born and bred in Queens. And my mom actually got me into acting. When I was like 3 years old, she submitted me to a manager and was like, just to see if I could do like commercials or copy as a cute kid. And I got accepted, so I started doing like Kodak commercials and McDonald's and Kmart. And then actually I kind of really took a liking to the whole industry and started acting in school. And actually started building my resume and ended up doing The Lion King on Broadway as a kid. And I was also in a movie called Music of the Heart with Meryl Streep. That was really cool. That was because I was playing violin at the time and they were looking for people who could act but also play violin. And so I was kind of like, it was like that very niche market that I was able to jump into. And then, so yeah, I started doing it in high school. And then actually I really took a liking to it because I started directing a little bit. And I had a really good mentor at the Dalton School named Bob Sloan, who really helped me nurture my craft. So I went to school for it at Fordham University. So it was really more around high school that I would really say I really caught the bug.
That must have been interesting to be in The Lion King at such a young age and it be such a huge show, both in scope and just, popularity.
Yeah, unbelievable. And it was like, it was only about 2 years into the production. So I was the seventh Simba to ever cross the stage, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and so that was mind blowing just to be in a huge Broadway theater house at such a young age.
And now, once you buckled down and figured out this is what you were going to do as a career, did you specifically go after theater? Were you, trying to throw your hat into all the different rings?
Yeah, anything and everything. I really enjoy it all. So it's all apples and oranges, really. So I love theater. I love the idea of doing a role and having a full arc every night and trying to find something new and do it like the discovery. But I also love the subtlety of film. I really enjoy that. I also love directing because it allows me to kind of communicate my own voice into the dialect of theater and contribute my own sort of vision and sort of not vision. I don't want to sound pretentious, but like my own voice. I like kind of saying something.
Now, what was your besides Lion King, your first adult stage role?
My first adult stage role, that was a lot of off-Broadway stuff. off-Broadway stuff. I was with The Flea for a little while. I was a bat. Let's see, I did some stuff with Red Fern Theater Company. That was a role I was pretty proud of. I was part of the short play festival that happened one summer. It was really great. I'm trying to think of I did a Charlie Mentor project that was pretty great. That was by Peter Gill shared, and it was a really great experience doing that. Yeah.
And now, like we mentioned, you had just wrapped up a stint on Gotham. You played one of the strike force.
Yeah.
And you ended up being the last one standing.
Yeah.
Until you weren't.
Yeah.
What was that experience like working on Gotham? And it's a big show that films here in New York.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Actually, it was such a great experience. It was the cast and the company is just so welcoming, and it's such a warm environment when you come there. And it was really kind of amazing getting to be part of the strike force. And by the way, it's strike force because Michael Chiklis was on The Shield, and they were called the Strike Team. And he does not like any confusion whatsoever. He makes it very clear that we are not the Strike Team. And it was great. So I'm doing the Strike Force. I'm getting to work with Ben McKenzie and Michael Chiklis and Donald Logue, and it was such an incredible experience, like getting to work so closely with them and just seeing how professional and how dedicated they are every day. And just it was very I aspire to be that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Did you know going in how long your arc would last, or did you kind of not, go each episode knowing when you were going to end up at the...
It was a nail biter every time we got a new script.
Yeah.
It was literally we would just kind of, me and Lenny and Lucas and Pauline would just kind of start flipping through the script trying to find out, what happens to each of us. And so it was, we didn't know. So it was like every episode was kind of a...
Did you have an inkling after, your three co-stars were like, did you think oh crap, on the last one, is it going to happen soon? And
there's a running joke that we're kind of like the red shirts on Star Trek. Yeah. They're like, hey, welcome, don't get comfortable.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny. So now your other credits, you were just on an episode of The Family.
Yes.
What was that experience like for you?
Oh, that was awesome too. So we shot the pilot in Vancouver. That's for The Family. It was with Joan Allen and Alison Pill. I got to do a scene with Alison Pill, who's hilarious. That was an amazing experience as well. It's just because she's so versatile, you know, and it's just like seeing how different she is, you know, from the character she's playing is sort of kind of incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
And talk a little bit about your role on the show.
So I played the mayor's aide. Yeah. So I was there to when Joan Allen is making the announcement. She's there, and I'm supposed to. She makes this very poignant, very tactical speech while she's running for mayor. And so there, I'm sort of trying to get the scoop from Allison, and that was really exciting. Yeah.
And you mentioned you were in the film with Meryl Streep when you were in high school, correct?
Middle school. Actually.
Middle school.
I was only 12. Yeah.
So what was that experience like working with, someone so legendary and,
Oh yeah, she is so incredible, but also so like down to earth. I mean, I remember my mom and the other moms would get to know her because during lunch breaks she would come and sit with us and sit with the moms, and just because she had kids as well, she has kids, and just kind of chat with all of them. And it wasn't. She was just very much a part of the whole experience and very much in touch with everybody in the whole company and the whole cast, and working and seeing her work, because I got to do a few scenes opposite her, which was pretty fantastic. Yeah, just again, really just exciting to see this woman who I probably couldn't appreciate it when I was 12, but like looking back
now, yeah, it's like wow,
she was really kind of amazing. Yeah.
And you mentioned about a mentor of yours, and you now also teach and have a lot of involvement where you can be someone's mentor. What's that experience like for you?
Yeah. So Bob Sloan, the man I mentioned, he's the head of the theater department at the Dalton School. He asked me one day, do I want to just be an actor or do I want to be an artist? And I didn't even really think of those two things as different. And it's sort of, he said that, do you just want to learn how to like do this one thing, or do you want to learn how to like be, like contribute, how to like think outside of the box and try to contribute to the dialect of theater is how he kind of put it. So he made me a better artist in general. And so that's why I was really happy. He became my mentor actually for my directing thesis in college, and then invited me to come and start teaching students there. And working with them has been really rewarding as well, because they're all very passionate, they're all very driven and want to and are striving to become better. So it's great that I'm a little further in my career than they are, so I can actually give back while I'm simultaneously striving for my own goals.
And you're also, you've worked consistently here in New York. New York's almost like its own beast, since there are so many episodics that film here. Is there a show that you have not been on that you would like to see yourself on, or you going for a certain genre?
Ooh, okay. So I love villains. I would always want to play a villain for sure. I would love to. I mean, The Blacklist is something I've always wanted to. I could see myself doing at one point. Also, I really love. It's ending now, but I've always wanted to be on Banshee.
Yeah. It's the last season. Yeah.
Yeah. But that was shows like that. Just I love the complexity of a character, of a villain, because I think there's always something about them that's. You go back far enough, you find a young person that was hurt so bad that they promised themselves they'd never be hurt like that again. And so unraveling that onion of a person is kind of very exciting to do.
You mentioned that you also like directing. What is it like for you to do that? I would assume it's similar to teaching, but you're giving your own vision to a project that you're involved in terms of shaping a student. You're kind of shaping an entire production. So what's that like for you?
So for directing, it's like I think let me put this. How do I put this? What I enjoy about directing is the idea that I have an idea, but it's a very collaborative experience. It's my idea, but we're all trying to put the best production forward. Mm-hmm. So I like the idea of being sort of the first audience member. So it's I'm receiving, but I'm also helping, I'm also guiding, and we're all kind of, I'm just sort of the guy that's trying to make it cohesive. Make sense? Mm-hmm. And I like the idea of helping bring out the best in an actor, which I really enjoy, and just helping them strive to be even stronger. And and sometimes they have something to teach me, and when I see an impulse that they have, I'm like, oh, great, that's awesome, go with this, and let's try to amplify it even more, or I like this, but I think it's going to be more compelling if you suppress it for as long as you possibly can. Mm-hmm. And so that whole experience of getting people just amped up about this story is an incredible experience.
Yeah, because then it's infectious for both of you.
Exactly, yeah.
When in your acting career did you kind of decide that was something that you did want to do, was to direct? Was it, after high school, you know, did you start to get the inkling prior?
It was actually in college, so I've been reading a lot of scripts, and I started working on. It was at the Trailing Mentor Project when I was. That's a program where they develop pretty established writers, but like they have a mentor of a very even more established writer, helping them develop their own voice. And working on that project, you get to see it's a new play with a developing playwright and a director, and them collaborating together on this idea of really molding it, where it's sort of like it's not like clipping a bonsai tree where it's like you just snip snips here. It's like they're willing to like uproot the whole thing and just replant it, you know. And so I like this. I really enjoyed that sort of collaboration that the player and the director had to find the most compelling story, and that's sort of where I decided. That was the year I decided to actually add directing to my major at Fordham.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Ian, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us.
Thank you. It's great
meet
to
with
meet
me,
you. Yeah.
and I look forward to seeing you back on the small or big screen.
Yeah.
Or Broadway.
Hopefully.
Soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.